Hi, I'm Becky from Becky's Balmy Book Blog, and this is my best books of 2011. I know there's a lot of these going on the blogs at the moment and the videos on YouTube, but I thought one more can't hurt, surely. So here's mine. I'm not doing a top 10 or something like that because I think it's quite unfair to rate the books on top of each other like that. I like all of the books for different reasons and they all have different meanings to me, so rating them in an order is always quite hard, I think. So it's just going to be how I pull them off my pile. I think I've got about 11 here, so here we go. First one I've got is, I've been telling everyone this is like one of the best books I read in 2011, and that is Divergent by Veronica Roth. Basically just wow. For a debut novel, it's got none of those first novel nerves. It's absolutely breathtaking. I loved the whole idea of the world and different factions, for different personality types. I thought that was really new and interesting. Four, if you've read it, you'll know who he is. Just, oh my goodness, I would love to meet Four. The cover is beautiful. The writing flows amazingly well. It feels like you're actually in the book with the characters experiencing it all, and it basically just took my breath away. I can't wait to read Insurgent, which comes out later this month, I think. You know it's going to be just as good as the first. So there's my first, Divergent by Veronica Roth. Next up, I will just say these aren't books that were released in 2011, these were books that I read in 2011, so some of them might be a little bit older. Next one up is The Hunger Games. I want to include the whole trilogy, but it's easy to just pick up one. So, of course, everyone knows the hype with The Hunger Games. I didn't want to read these for a long time. I was convinced they'd be too scary for me. But I got convinced and I got hooked. I am now the ultimate Hunger Games fangirl. I follow the Facebook pages, the blogs, the posts, the music updates. I have a Hunger Games calendar for this year. Can't get better than a Hunger Games calendar. 12 months of greatness on my wall. And of course the film comes out this March, and these just took my breath away. So, Hunger Games. Next one next to me I have is Star-Crossed. I bought this one when I bought Divergent. It was on 3 for 2 in my bookstore. I picked it up because I liked the cover. It's also got like a velvet feel to it, which is different. And when I read the blurb, it's all about Greek gods, heroes, which I'm really into at the moment, thanks to Percy Jackson by Rick Riordan. So I thought I'd give this a go. And I know not everyone's like this. I've seen some negative reviews for this online, but it took my breath away and I really enjoyed it. I am proud to call myself a Starheart. Anyone else is a Starheart, you'll know what that means. Josephine Angelini, the author, is a sweetheart. I follow her blog. She's really nice, always replies to her emails and comments, and she just seems so human, which is always great. I entered a competition from this book and I had to put a Greek toga on. Embarrassing. But I got a prize pack, I got a pen, a wristband and a star-crossed bag, so that was cool. I believe there's a follow-up novel coming out soon. I can't remember what it's called at the moment, but I'll definitely be looking out for that. So that was Star-Crossed. Next I have Last Breath by Rachel Caine. This is book 11 in the Morganville Vampires series. Again, I'm championing the whole series really, but this one was the one I read in 2011. Book 11 in 2011, it's great. Hadn't noticed that before. The whole series is really different. It's obviously a vampire novel, but the main character is not a vampire, which I find really quite refreshing. And the writing's really funny. I love Merlin. Fluffy bunny rabbit slippers. Any of you read them? You'll know what I mean when I say fluffy vampire bunny slippers. Genius! Rachel Caine, we love you! Next up, I have Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. Sorry, I can never say your name right. Again, I'm championing the whole series. Shiver, Linger and Forever. these books really captured my heart. I fell in love completely with Sam, the main male character. He's so sweet, and Grace is one of those characters you just feel like you can connect to. And it was like one of my best friends. When I came back to Forever after it had been released shortly after these, it felt like I was coming back to see a friend. So I absolutely love these books, and the covers are gorgeous too. So shiver. I'm trying to get through these quite fast because I don't want it to be a long video. If you want any information on any of these books, just check my blog and search for the reviews, they're all up there. Next on my list is Skullduggery Pleasant, Deathbringer. I love these books and they all have taglines. The one on this one is kicking evil very hard in the face. Gotta love it, what's not to like? Derek Landy is a genius. I am in his Munchkin army. Derek Landy, we salute you. These books are just hilarious. This is book 6 in the series. I strongly recommend you going through and reading all of them. You will laugh until you cry. You will cry until you laugh. They are that good. And the best thing about 2011 was I met him for a second time. And sorry, I can't turn the page. I can't find it. He signed it. I have the whole set signed. He's so nice and genuine in person, and just as funny off page as he is on. So definitely Skullduggery Pleasant. The next one was the last book I read in 2011, and it was in my mailbox video last week, if you saw that. It is of course Inheritance by Christopher Paolini. Again, I love this whole series, Eragon, Eldest, Brazinger, and then of course Inheritance. This is the final one in the series, book 4. It is a bit of a brick, massive, but I did read it in 2.5 days in the evenings, so that wasn't bad. It just, I don't know, it's so magical and such a different world. He's created so much. These books to me are a bit like Harry Potter. Saying goodbye to them is very hard, but I know I can go back and reread them all the time. The covers are beautiful, and his writing is just so fresh and pure. I really, really love them. And he has said, I found an interview online, that he may one day come back. He's got ideas for a lot more stories to come off these, and I really hope he does, because I'm not ready to give up this world yet. So, Inheritance, Christopher Paolini rocks. He came to England this year, but I didn't know about it until the last minute, so I couldn't go down to London to meet him, but I'm hoping he'll come back next year for another tour, and then I can go and stalk him. I mean, meet him. Anyway, the next one on my pile, she's a relatively unknown author, and I'm trying to change that. I've been involved in a couple of her blog tours in 2011. The first one that I read of hers is called Released, and it's the lovely Megan Duncan. I got sent this by Megan for review, asking me if I'd like to read it. This one is set in a post-apocalyptic war world, sort of thing, and 17-year-old Abby Phillips and her brother and friend have to travel through the wastelands of America to try to find other survivors. And there's monsters everywhere and like radiation and all that sort of thing. And it was quite spooky and it made my blood tingle and my shiver. But it was really good, and I felt a connection to the characters, and I'm hoping there'll be more in this series because I did actually really enjoy it. She's also had another series out called Saver, which I was part of the blog tour for, and those books are excellent as well. I highly recommend you check her out, get her out there, get her name into the big wide world of web space. And Saver is a vampire novel. It's the Warm Delicacy series, I think. Look it up on Goodreads, find my reviews on my blog, and just check it out. She deserves to be out there with lots of recognition. Her writing is fabulous. I love it. I've only got a few left, I promise. The next one on my pile is Hereafter by Tara Hudson. I actually got this on review from NetGalley, so I read it as a PDF file first, which I'm not keen on doing. I prefer proper books, which is why I've now got this copy. But Again, I thought the story was really original. It's told from the point of view of a girl who has drowned in a river, but she hasn't passed on, she's still around. And one night, a young teenage boy crashes into the same river in his car, and instead of drowning, she saves him, but because he came close to death, he can now see her. And there's like a whole love triangle and evil magicians and curses and that. It was really good. And again, the cover's beautiful. I love how she's sort of see-through because she's a ghost. Really like it. So again, that one. Next, I have another one you've probably all read, Across the Universe by Beth Revis. This one actually took me a long time to get in, and for a while I was convinced that this wouldn't be on my best list, and as I was reading it I wasn't even sure I'd finish it. I pushed on to about 100 pages in and suddenly something just clicked. I found Amy really interesting to read about, very different. I have no idea how you'd imagine what being cryogenically frozen would be like, but she does a good job of getting it across. I'm not really a sci-fi fan, but the good qualities of this book completely outweighed the negative, and by the end of it, I was absolutely in love, and I really want to know what happens next. I'm so glad. I think it's A Million Suns is coming out beginning of this year, so I can get my hands on that. Really excited. So there we go. And then I have The Traitor and the Tunnel by Y.S. Lee. Again, this is part of a series. I love the whole series. It starts with A Spy in the House. It's a Mary Quinn mystery. These are Victorian detective books where the main character is a young Victorian girl who is rescued from the gallows, and she's accused of stealing or something. Obviously being set in Victorian times, they had harsher punishment, but she gets saved at the last minute by these mysterious ladies and asked to join their detective agency, and it's her adventures. And I love these books, and Y.S. Lee is great. Again, she's another author whose blog I follow. These books don't get as much recognition as I think they should. I think they're really, really good, and the writing just whisks you away to another world. So if you get a chance, check these out. Say book one is called A Spy in the House. So give that a go. Now the last one on my list I don't have a physical copy of. I've read them all on ebook. The author sent me them and I'm waiting eagerly for the next one. It is the Embrace series by Charlotte Blackwell. She's another relatively unknown author, but her writing, again, just captures your heart and sweeps you away. And her writing is so fresh and funny and heartfelt that I had to include it on my list. So check her out on the World Wide Web and look for her reviews on my blog. Follow her Facebook and check it out. And that is my best of 2011. Do you agree with any of them? Have I missed any out? What do you think? Leave me a comment below. Nice sharing books with you. Here's hoping 2012 will be another fantastic book year. So, bye!